welcome back to Bucket List Homestead. If you're new here, welcome. And I don't know about you all, but I still am dealing with a lot of jars of apple butter and frozen pumpkin butter and frozen strawberry butter. And I think I also have some other jars on my shelf of pear butter, blueberry butter, rhubarb butter. You get the drift. I have a lot of the fruit butters. And even though I have gone through a lot of them during the Three Rivers Challenge, we still have a lot to go through. And it's Valentine's Day, and instead of making cookies or anything like that, I've decided I'm gonna make some homemade Pop-Tarts. And it's a great way to use up some of our apple butter. That's what I'm gonna be making today. And because it's Valentine's Day, I'm going to be making these in hearts, but you can certainly cut these out freehand and rectangle. You can use any cookie cutter you want. I'm just going with hearts because, like I said, it's Valentine's Day. Luckily, I had 2 of these still in my freezer from Christmas when I made my pie crust. So, or you can buy pie crust, whatever makes it easier for you. As a busy mama, use it. But I do happen to have these 2. I'm just gonna get a little bit of flour and we're gonna roll these out and we're gonna bake them up. And I think the kids are really gonna like them. Now my kids aren't big on glazes, and I don't really necessarily think we'll need it, but you certainly could glaze these after they're baked. I might sprinkle a little bit of sugar on them just to give them a little bit of a sweeter crust, but these are gonna be really simple and fast to make. Obviously I have a cookie sheet here with some parchment, and my oven is preheated to 375, and you don't want to fill these too much. You may be tempted to put more in, but you'll just have a big mess. They won't seal. So I'm gonna do probably about a teaspoon. Oh, it smells so good. And this is gonna make more than we honestly need or could eat in a day, so I'm gonna freeze these. And then we will have homemade Pop-Tarts in the freezer, ready to go next time we want some. So, see, that one already has too much, and I didn't even think it was that much. That's what's gonna happen if you put too much in. Okay, and we're just gonna crimp them together. So there's one, and I'm just gonna keep going.
Ooh, hot chocolate. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button.
Hey, who took my hot chocolate?
Make sure you hit the bell so that you don't miss any new videos. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button.
Okay, I got them all put together, and I've just beat up an egg with just a little bit of water. And we're gonna do a quick egg wash over them. This not only helps them brown up, but it'll help the sugar I'm gonna sprinkle on top of them stick to it. Oops, I forgot to pinch that one together. Okay. All right. And then I'm just going to take a little pinch, just sprinkle a little bit. Okay, 375-degree oven. We're going to start at 10 minutes. They could take up as long as 20 depending on how thick your pie crust is, but we'll start off at 10. First batch of Pop-Tarts or ham pies, whatever you want to call these, are out, and we're going to let them cool. And because I have that full open jar that I opened and some I already had opened. I decided let's make one more recipe. And I am making, this is a recipe from Food in a Jar. This is a cookbook that I got last summer when we were in the States, and it's by Marissa McClellan. I've liked the ones I've made so far for the most part. You do have to adjust, I find, the sugar content in her recipes. I find they're very, very sweet, so I will be adjusting this. And these are called oatmeal applesauce bars, and you are gonna need a food processor for this recipe. And you do need oats, but 1.5 cups of the oats in this recipe are oat flour. Well, you're gonna make oat flour. I have lots of oat flour that I definitely need to use up. So I'm not gonna go ahead and make any, but then the other 1/2 cup you're gonna leave mostly whole. So you're gonna need a 9x13 pan, and I've just put a piece of parchment in there. Instead of greasing it, I'm gonna try and put the parchment in and see how it goes. And we're gonna try and make these. They sound good, and they'll be nice for breakfast, I think, because we're a little bit sick of everything for breakfast right now. So I am just gonna go get my next batch of Pop-Tarts out of the oven, and then we'll get started on the oatmeal applesauce bars, or apple butter bars. So she says in this recipe that you can make this with applesauce or apple butters, and like I said, I'm gonna be using apple butter. So we need that's the 1/2. 1.5 cups of oat flour, a teaspoon of baking soda, baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm not even going to measure that. We'll just, that's good. I'm not putting in as much as I normally would. You know, whenever a recipe says a teaspoon, I always add more because there's a lot of cinnamon in the apple butter. 1/2 teaspoon of a nutmeg, 1/2, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt, two eggs, the apple butter, so we need a cup of apple butter, which is pretty much this. It might be a little more than a cup, but that's what we're gonna go with. Okay. 1.5 cups of packed brown sugar. Are we putting that in now? Yep, brown sugar. I think it was just 1/2 cup, wasn't it? 1/2 cup. I am going to do not quite a 1/4 cup again, because like I said, I found her recipe sweet, and and the apple butter is sweet. So about that much. Oops, okay. And I need to melt 4 tablespoons of butter. I forgot to do that. 4 tablespoons of melted butter. And we're just gonna mix it till it's combined, and then we're going to add 1.5 cups of oats. Okay, it's all mixed, so we're gonna add 1.5 cups of oats. This is also where you could add some pecans. I don't have any, I thought I did, so this is going to be a nut-free oatmeal bar. And we just want to pulse 5 or 6 times. Where's my pulse here? Yep, that was perfect. Oh, it smells so good. Right, I'm gonna, oh, before I forget too, my homemade Pop-Tarts, they actually took 20 minutes to bake. The second batch took, I think, 16 minutes because that was a lot thinner dough. So it's going to take anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes based on, depending on how thick you roll out your dough. That's what they look like. Okay, into the 350-degree oven for 30 minutes. So while the oatmeal applesauce bars are cooking, that is hard to say, Dave and I are going to try. We're going to split one of those Pop-Tarts. You can have the bigger piece. Okay. Those are good.
Yep.
The first batch I should have rolled them out a little bit thinner. The second batch I did, but oh my gosh. I don't know if I'd call them Pop-Tart though.
Oh, I think it's
Hand pies.
Yeah.
But, that's probably one of the best ways to use up apple butter.
Yep.
I can't wait to make these with the pumpkin butter. Wow, very good. I think the kids are gonna like these. So the oatmeal bars are out. I'll show you them. And they've been cooling for a good hour. The recipe says make sure it's cool before you cut them. I'm just gonna try a little piece so I can see what I think of this and let you all know. It smells amazing, but I'm gonna say it seems very dry to me. Like not very moist, but we'll try it. Nope. I don't like those at all. Very dry. Very, very dry. Nope. I don't even know what you would do. Personally, I don't think they needed the oats. Just a second. Oh, nope, I don't like this. I don't think I'd put the oats in them. Maybe make it with regular flour instead of oat flour, but I guess then they wouldn't be oatmeal bars. But, I mean, okay, they're not terrible. And I will say I mixed, I put cloves in instead of nutmeg. I realized it when I was cleaning up. That was supposed to be nutmeg, not cloves that I put in, but it doesn't taste that bad that way. It's just the texture I'm not crazy about. So I don't even know what would fix it. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Well, darn it. That's disappointing. Well, I guess 1 out of 2 is not half bad. I will share the recipe with you all and you can try it and decide for yourself if you want. But I'm going to say I don't think it's a great recipe, but I guess 1 out of 2 isn't so bad. These are delicious. I end up having another one with a cup of tea. These are really good. Really, really good. Really liked these. So, okay, friends, that is it for today. I hope you all have a great Valentine's Day. Until then, take care, God bless, and we'll see you all soon.